What is going on, everyone? Welcome back to the Full 90, and it is an exciting day on the channel because the Champions League is finally back and it is really heating up. We have today the round of 16 leg 1 predictions. Now, if you want to get featured in the next episode of the Champions League predictions, which will be round of 16 leg 2, then leave your predictions for the 8 games down in the comments below, as well as answering the comment question of the day, which is going to be simply this time round: who do you think is going to win the Champions League this year? It's really heating up. I'm very, very excited. So yes, leave your comments down below for a chance to be featured in the next episode of the Champions League predictions. And without further ado, let's get into the round of 16. Kicking it off, we have Atletico Madrid up against Liverpool. Now, obviously, Atletico Madrid, it is a fortress to go to. They don't lose many games at home and they don't concede many goals at home. And Liverpool's away form in the Champions League isn't actually the best. Certainly in last year's Champions League group stage, I believe they lost every single away game in the Champions League. And although they've been doing better recently, certainly in the Premier League, away, home, it doesn't matter. They're picking up points. I still believe they didn't do so well against Napoli away from home in the group stage of the Champions League. I can't remember exactly off the top of my head how that went, but away from home for Liverpool isn't as great for them, obviously, as at home, and Atletico Madrid are ridiculously strong at home. So Liverpool will go into this game with the mentality of, if we don't lose the away game, we'll progress through to the next round because we're going to win the home tie at Anfield. And that's what I think is going to happen, and that's why, given Liverpool's not as ruthless form away from home, particularly in the Champions League, and Atletico Madrid's strong form at home in the Champions League, I'm going to go for a low-scoring 1-1 draw between the two teams. And I think that'll be enough for Liverpool to take the tie and move on into the quarterfinals with eyes on a third consecutive Champions League final for them. The next game is going to be really, really exciting. It is Borussia Dortmund up against PSG. Now, Dortmund are firing on all cylinders, scoring goals for fun. Jadon Sancho, goals and assists coming out of his ears, and Erling Haaland, of course, I think finally he had a game for Borussia Dortmund where he didn't score. He's been scoring so many goals for them. He's just his hunger to score. A lot of them aren't wonder strikes, you know, amazing technical goals and stuff like that. It's just him with his positioning, being in the right place at the right time, a poacher, a true goal scorer, knowing where to be and what to do. And he's really improved their attacking lineup over at Borussia Dortmund. But PSG are looking absolutely unstoppable. So I think this is going to be a high-scoring game because PSG do leak goals. I think at the time of recording, their last result in League 1 was, or League 1, I should say, was a 4-2 win over Lyon. So I think this is going to be a very, very high-scoring game. With Borussia Dortmund being at home, I think they're going to get at least a couple of goals, but I do just think that PSG are going to be too strong. I think they're going to win this tie, and for this game in particular, I'm going to go for a 3-2 away win to Paris Saint-Germain. The next game is Atalanta up against Valencia. Now, this is the tie that's going to be very, very tough to call, in my opinion, and as I said in my sort of round of 16 early predictions and group stage reaction video, I said that these teams are both going to thrive and rely on home form. So with that being said, I think this first game, Atalanta are going to win. And they do score a lot of goals. They've had blips in form here and there. You know, they've had odd results, but they do still score a lot of goals at home for the most part. And I think they're going to go balls to the walls against Valencia. This is their first Champions League knockout stage. I think they're going to be well up for it. And I do see them getting the win over Valencia. I'm going to go for a 3-1 win to the Italians in this fixture. That's not to say Valencia might not, you know, claw it back. Like, for instance, I could see Atalanta winning this one 3-1, and then the experience of Valencia going back and winning the reverse leg 2-0, meaning that they go through on away goals. In fact, that could very well happen. But I'm going to go for a 3-1 win to Atalanta in this fixture. Now, the next one, again, more fireworks, explosive play. Tottenham up against RB Leipzig. Now, Tottenham have tightened things up a little bit. They don't tend to concede as many goals, certainly as when the start when Mourinho came in, they were still shipping a load of goals. But when you're against RB Leipzig, there are going to be goals, whether you're scoring or conceding them, because RB Leipzig score a ton of goals in the Bundesliga. They're doing really, really well. They're really pushing Bayern Munich this year, but also they do concede a few lately. They have been conceding. They used to, at the start of the season, they were winning comfortably, scoring a lot of goals, but now they're scoring a lot of goals and conceding a lot of goals, so I think that's going to create fireworks in this fixture. And I'm going to go, as I sort of hinted at in my round of 16 early prediction video, my opinions haven't changed. I'm going to go for a high-scoring 2-2 draw between the two teams. I mean, a lot of people would say that Tottenham should be the favourites to go through in this tie, but I think RB Leipzig, they're they're an informed team, you know, second in the Bundesliga versus Tottenham, who are like fifth, I think, in the Premier League. I think RB Leipzig are a force to be reckoned with, and I think I can see them going through this tie against Tottenham, but 2-2 is my score prediction. The next fixture is Chelsea up against Bayern Munich, and as I said in my early prediction sort of video, this is going to be one of the easier ties to predict in my opinion. No discredit to Chelsea, but they really have to focus on, you know, they're going to be focusing on the Premier League and top four as well, because they won't believe that they can win the Champions League at the stage they're in. They still haven't done any business in the January transfer window, or, you know, now that that's over as well, so they're not going to. But I think Bayern Munich are going to win this one comfortably enough, even though it is the away leg for them, and then they're just going to win at home as well. I see a double victory for Bayern Munich, easing themselves into the quarterfinal. And Chelsea, they had a good run. They did well to get through a very, very tough group with Ajax and Lille missing out. Ajax particularly a surprise in that one. But I think Chelsea are going to exit and bow out of the Champions League at this stage and focus on keeping their top four spot. I'm going for a 3-1 away win to Bayern Munich in this one. The next fixture is Napoli up against Barcelona. Now, this was a really, really tough one to call because Barcelona, they're in a spot of trouble. They're not winning as convincingly as they often would. Lionel Messi and his relationship with the club is slightly deteriorating. There's all kinds of rumours. I think one picture that I keep seeing going around, particularly on Instagram, is sort of the fantasy that Lionel Messi will join Cristiano Ronaldo at Juventus and they'll, play together, which would be so cool. How cool would it be to see Messi and Ronaldo linking up and playing together? That would be a formidable force. And if Juventus don't win this year and Barcelona don't win this year and Lionel Messi were to go to Juventus, if they can't win together, then maybe that's just it for Juventus, really, and they won't win the Champions League because, I think either way, we're getting off topic here. Messi to Juventus, that would be very, very exciting. But this one is going to be interesting because Barcelona's away form is, to be honest, bad. It's good for like the average team, but for Barcelona, who are, near the top of La Liga, I believe they're just behind Real Madrid, and who are one of the best teams, obviously, in the world, their away form should be better than it is. They consistently ship goals away from home. They consistently lose, the odd game here and there away from home. And Napoli are quite strong at home. I was, for that reason, originally going to put a 1-1 draw, but then I thought, Champions League, it's just a little bit different. It's a little bit different, and I feel like the Messi factor will come through because that's his main goal with Barcelona. He wants to win the Champions League again, and I do think I've put down here that Barcelona are going to get over the line, but it wouldn't surprise me if there's a 1-1 draw, or even a 1-0 Napoli win. I really could see Napoli making this away tie for Barcelona difficult, and then Barcelona doing the business at the new campus they often do. But I'm going to go for a 2-1 away win to Barcelona. Maybe that's a cop-out, going for essentially the favourites in this tie. But I just feel like Messi's gonna do something because he's not had the best start to the year. I think he's going to turn it up in this one. So the next game, anyway, speaking of Juventus, is Lyon up against Juve. And again, I think this is going to be very, very similar. I think any luck Lyon will have in trying to get through in this tie will be in the home leg and the first leg. So similar to how I predicted Napoli to make it tough for Barcelona, I'm predicting Lyon to make it tough for Juventus. Lyon do put up a good fight. They're not quite at the level of the big boys, the big Champions League giants such as Juventus. And I think Juve are going to get the win. I'm going to go for a 2-1 win to Juventus. I think Lyon, like I said, it's going to be a good game, an exciting game as it always is. But Juventus just, they've got some quality going up front, in the middle of the park, at the back. They just are a good solid team, and they have a decent chance at going very, very deep into this competition. Now, the final game of the round of 16, leg 1, is another huge one. It's Real Madrid up against Manchester City. Real Madrid in really, really good form, having slightly lower scoring games than previous, and Man City, they're a bit up and down. Obviously, the Champions League is their main focus. They've given up on the Premier League, rightfully so. They're 22 points behind. Their top 4 places basically secure. They'll play hard in the domestic competitions, of course, but the Champions League is their main focus. And I think once you've got a team as good as Manchester City, although their form's not the best, and a manager as good as Pep Guardiola with laser focus on one thing, i.e. the Champions League, it's only going to mean, domination, focus, because Real Madrid, they're also fully focused on La Liga. They're currently top. They'll want to keep that going. Man City only have eyes for this competition, and they'll go into this game thinking, similar to how Liverpool wouldn't want to lose against Atletico Madrid and then take it to Anfield and win, Man City will think to themselves, they'll probably think, if we can not lose against Real Madrid in this tie, score a goal or two perhaps, an away goal, we can take it to the Etihad and advance through this tie. And I feel like that might be what's going to happen, because Real Madrid, they're in great form, trust me, and there were comments on the previous video that I made saying that they thought Real Madrid were going to go through instead of Man City, but Man City are favourites for this tournament for a reason, and they are just oozing class. It's the one thing they want to do. So I'm going to predict them to get a draw here with Real Madrid, a 1-1. And then I think they'll take it to the Etihad. That's not to say that Real Madrid won't be happy with that and feel like on a given day they can go to the Etihad and beat Man City like other teams have done. But I don't know. I'm going to go for a draw in this fixture, and then I guess we'll see for the second leg. But I'm going to go for a 1-1 draw between the two teams. So that is going to do it for my round of 16 predictions, the first leg. I am so excited for this year's knockout. There's some really, really juicy ties in here. Like, all of them, to be honest, they're all really good. They're just all really good. So, yes, that is going to do it for this video. Leave a like if you enjoyed. Leave your predictions down in the comments below, as well as answering the comment question of the day, which is, who do you think is going to win the Champions League? But, yes, leave a like, subscribe, turn on the bell so you don't miss a single video, and I will see you in the next one very soon.